did you go on vacation this year? How many days off did you have?
I don't think of vacations like that.
Okay.
Like I've been away,
Okay.
but at no point have I switched off my brain from work ever.
So you go away to Edinburgh, you mean, or you've been to Barcelona, visited the Sagrada Familia, but still sort of.
I think I have actually been there this year. Weirdly, as you just pulled that out of your ass, like.
Okay.
But I think I've actually done that in the last 12 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
And also go to a coffee shop and do some work.
No, I've been to Amsterdam
Okay.
for a few days. I think I went twice in the last year.
With
Been
shows
to
or
Barcelona. No. Just
okay.
I think I did a show on one of those trips. I can't remember, but that was not the reason for going. And then I went to. I don't know. I've been camping a couple of times. I've been on a few trips, but usually like just a few days here and there.
Okay.
And I'm never not thinking about work or engaging with socials or like uploading or editing into the night when everyone else is asleep. There's always like there's no switch off.
Okay. Aren't you worried that you're gonna be like 80 and you won't be able to retire because all you know or the only thing you love is actually working?
I don't think I want to retire though.
You don't want to retire?
No.
I'm ready to retire like tomorrow.
I think we should ban retirement and we should ban vacations. That's let's start with that, shall we?
I think people should start off retired. I think first of all, I think the kids shouldn't go to school. They should start learning when they're like 20 or something.
Start off retired.
Start off retired. Just do nothing for the first. Just kind of get a feel of the planet. Just gonna see what you want. See, like no weird pressure on you to make a decision right now about what you're gonna do, because then you're gonna make a bad decision. It just kind of has to come from within, but it's not gonna come from within if it's rushed.
But it is them that still choose if they then enter education, blah blah blah.
Well, then when you're 20, you kind of know enough about the world that you just you decide what you wanna. Oh, these number things look interesting.
But didn't that just happen? Didn't that happen like long time ago, or like in farming communities where people would just kind of just worked, and just learn. They educated themselves from family and from work, and never from school.
Yeah,
but isn't that like something we got past in the interest of moving forward?
I don't think that's moving forward. I don't think it's. If you're born and then you need to go to school to like 24 years to maybe not like 20 years to actually be able to actually be like a fully formed human. Maybe humans went too far.
I don't think school makes you a fully formed human by any stretch. But I remember seeing a sci-fi film that I cannot name years ago, and one of the general sort of ideas in this film was the minute you're born, you're allocated like a type of work. So you're an artist, or you're an engineer, or you're a politician. Like they're quite general sort of like 4 or 5 themes, and you're in that area and you can't shift. And generally, it's what your family did as well.
Okay.
But that's like the past as well. Like if you were born and your dad was an astronomer, like in I don't know. You're an Aztec or whatever, you would then train to be an astronomer. Like that was your thing, or you were an outcast.
I don't know. I think maybe because if your dad would have like 9 children, there wouldn't be like 9 astronomers. You'd send somebody to become like a locksmith, and somebody like you could send them to like other apprenticeships.
Just in case you got locked out the observatory. Save a bit of money on 24-hour locksmith services. Do you realise we'll have to go to Cushamel for that? I think my point with that though is that's the problem with this 24 years at school, or however long you think it is. It
feels like 94 years for me.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? It's like if you knew earlier in life what it is you're going to do, you wouldn't have to waste your time for 20 odd years. Because, like, you hear a lot of people say, like, well, why am I learning trigonometry and maths? Like, when am I ever going to use that in real life? And I'm sure to some extent everyone is speaking the truth when they say they don't need certain things. I'm sure I know a lot of people that would never need most of the maths you learn, or most of the language stuff you learn. But like, if they knew they were going to be a plumber, Like they could like,
but it's not like
spend a few years being really good at plumbing and the bookwork and all the things you never learn. Like,
but I'm not saying like school is bad and you don't. I think it just has a bad timing. So right now, if I went to high school, I think I would find everything very fascinating. Like right now, I'm old enough. I think I'd find geography, history very fascinating.
It would, but would you be?
I'd be able to like
primed to
absorb
remember.
it.
Would you? Because I think it's really hard to learn as you get older.
They were telling me history when I was like 14. I was having like my first boner. That's not a good time to learn about the Holocaust.
But the fact is, like, if you had a boner as at the age you are now, you'd forget about that because you can't even retain that information. Like a year down the line, you'd be like, I don't know if I've ever had one in class. But like I know that's inconvenient, but it's still when your mind's at its best.
No, I think my mind is way better now than it was when I was 15. I think I could like. I could learn like 12th grade history and like I'm gonna say in like 2 weeks.
You see, I listen.
I think I can learn chemistry, like high school chemistry, in like a month and a half.
You say that, but like I listen to podcasts on this, that, and the other, and science stuff all the time, and I think I know stuff until I then get into a conversation with someone that does know even half. Like half a GCSE textbook on that subject, and I'm just like can't even have the conversation. But up until then, I've got such formulated ideas, and like I think this is why the world is like this, and like this is why I think time travel should be this, and like. Well, but then that's literally nothing under the surface because I've retained nothing.
Well, that's another reason why school should happen when you're like in your 30s, because then you wouldn't be overconfident. You'd be constantly humbled by the things you don't know, as opposed to just learning when you don't care, and then going to work and feeling like you're a smart person without actually knowing that you are.
I think we should go to school, but I agree it could be shorter and more focused. But I do also then think that when you've left school, we should like get rid of the idea of retirement. That's straight off the bat, because that's just nonsense. I don't think anyone should retire unless they're physically or mentally unable to do the jobs.
Like I agree,
and then the same for holidays. Like
I agree with the fact that sort of the second you sort of retire, then you kinda then you kind of start dying. The second you sort of stop going to work, then you that's when your brain really goes to mush. So it's not good to stop being active once you get old, but that's also because you have been too active during your life. It's we need to learn from a young age to be lazy so we can enjoy retirement. So we can kind of carry on being retired when we can rest when we're old as well. But if you worked up until you're 69, yeah, it's hard to adapt to a life of not working.
See, I don't think retirement's about like you being tired or I think retirement is always about the promise of freedom at the end of doing a shit job.
Okay.
Which is like if you work in the mines or whatever it was people used to do.
Yeah.
Like you need to know that at some point this is going to end and you'll be looked after.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where retirement comes from, and I think it's less relevant now.
I don't think any of the miners survived up until
no, I don't think they did, but they thought they would.
But they must have seen like older people dropping dead at 39.
There's quite a few people in this lift shaft that are in their 40s. Just let's do a collapse. It's like before they get out of this mine for another few months, they'll retire, and then we'll have to pay for that. So that's kill the canary or whatever it is.
So I don't know if I've said this before, but when they were doing the vaccine rollout, but like I swear I was like on the couch and watching the prime minister, like Boris, would come on TV and he would say how the vaccine is going, how the rollout is going, and he said something like the rollout is going fantastic. We've vaccinated 40% of the population, and starting tomorrow we're gonna move to the under 80s.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was on the BBC at one point. I don't know if 30% and under 75, but it was like a crazy fuck. Like honestly,
there's a lot of old people.
40% of England is just people that should kind of be dead by now.
Well, you see, that's where I disagree. It's like I think that's I mean, one hand you're saying we're better when we're older, and on the other hand is like kill them all. That's kind of a weird opinion. But like,
well, right now they are killing us, so that's why. Right
well,
now
that's
it's either me or
because they're retiring.
them.
Like, if we stop the retirement, they would either stay at work or kill themselves. it's like if you're cleaning toilets for a living, by the time you get to 80, you're like, if there's no out from this, I'm gonna out it myself. Dignitas, please. Like, no, I'm not unwell. I'm not mentally ill, but this is my job. Okay, sign the documents. But the alternative to that is just like, find a job you like, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's hard as well. Also, like, I don't think. Like, one of the reasons I honestly believe that rents are high and are always keep getting higher is because people keep going to work. I feel like if we if we work less, then the rents are going to be lower. Then nobody's going to have that much money, and then the rents are going to drop.
Follow that thought through in stages so I understand, like, the gaps in your thinking there.
Okay.
Or the gaps in my understanding of your thinking.
Okay, I respect that. So basically, because we're working, we're all getting money, and then because there is a lot of money in society, then sort of things get more expensive because people have more money to spend. But then if we worked half as much, everybody would have half as much. Rents are going to be half as big.
But isn't that? It's going to be the same situation because
same situation.
In comparatively, you're still spending the same percentage of your income on your rent or your mortgage.
Yeah, exactly same situation.
But you're working less.
But yeah, you get home at 1 p.m.
Okay, it makes more sense when you explain your thoughts.
Yeah.
But then,
I was scared. I honestly was scared when you asked me to explain it. I don't think it's gonna come through.
That's what I was talking about earlier. When I talking about something with anyone that knows the subject, I get scared the minute they ask the odd question. I'm just like, it says why? Like when I do comedy and you talk about me because it's the only thing no one can trip me up on. It's like if I started doing politics, my career would be over within seconds.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about either. I think the big sort of political analysts out there, it's all guesswork. All the economists, that's guesswork.
But I feel like they're well rehearsed though. They've rehearsed their. Like I can find my way out of situations on stage comedically because I've done it for a long time.
Yeah.
And they can do the same conversationally with those subjects, but they've done it offline for a long time, and now they're bulletproof, and now they're online.
I think it's because they all learn from the same sort of manual. So they all learn from the same 10 books. So then they kind of understand each other's references. They all sort of go through the same labyrinth of thought.
Do you know why weird you say the 10 book thing? Even if there was 10 books, I read, not in a book, but I read something that says in order to retain the information from a book, like a book that's trying to teach you something rather than just a random novel, you have to read that book 10 times.
Okay.
And that in order to like retain anything worthwhile from it. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine reading even the best book I've ever read 10 times. It's like, why would you do that? Like, it's not like films. Like there are, in every 20 films I watch, there's probably 2 or 3 I really like, and there's probably one of those I could watch repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever found a book I could read more than twice.
Me neither, but also I don't necessarily like reading. But I think if you're one of those people that reads 6 hours a day,
it's mental.
Then you kind of. But that's your safe space. That sort of. It's almost your that's the way you nap with a book in your hand.
I prefer to spend that 6 hours building up hate by watching YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is. I like YouTube because you can hear information and play video games.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't play on my phone and read the book at the same time.
So I mean, that's the only negative about banning retirement is people would want to do the jobs that you wouldn't want to retire from.
Okay.
Like our job. I think like that's one of the reasons that I mean, maybe you do want to retire because you're lazy, but like for me, I would happy to be doing one version of this for a long time, forever, because I like it.
I'd love to do like a 3 month to 3 months every year, just like a tour for 3 months, and then do nothing for 9 months. That's sort of my ideal life.
That would be cool. Yeah, but you imagine. I remember seeing an old guy when I lived in New York, an old comedian, and he was like maybe in his early 70s.
Okay.
And he said he just did like 1 or 2 gigs a month, and it was like college style gigs or corporate style gigs that paid quite well.
Yeah.
And so he'd do 1 or 2. So he was very happy because he was still performing, but it was like a massive top up to his pension. And like I remember thinking, oh, that's cool. Like the idea that you could just work 1 or 2 days a month in your 70s and like have quite a good income. But then of course, you know, next thing you know, you lose your mind and you can't do that. And you're on a comics pension, which is what state benefits.
Are you putting money in like a private pension? What's your retirement plan?
Getting married to a rich woman. No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's a rich woman that's really good at committing to things.
Okay, yeah, that's important as well.
No, I
What's the law in the UK? Do you get half her stuff if you divorce tomorrow?
Not in my situation, because my missus is a lawyer. I ain't getting half of that. But no, I think my retirement.
I think this podcast is gonna be the reason why you're not getting nothing. It's gonna be presented in court.
My retirement plan is currently split between TikTok and crypto.
Okay.
It's not going well.
I'm basing it all on global warming. I'm betting it all on. I think global warming is gonna fuck us, and I'm to the point that I don't really want to save anything.
Yeah. Well,
if global warming doesn't fuck us, I'm gonna regret it a bit.
I saw Stephen Carlin, the comedian at the Edinburgh Fringe, doing a bit about how he looked at his credit card statements and he's decided the world's not ending quick enough. And I was just like, it was like David Attenborough saying the world's got 50 years left. He's like, that's not soon enough. Like my banking dictates it needs to be over in 10. It's like, I like that idea. But let's ban. I want to ban retirement. You don't. You want to start at age 0. But I also want to ban holidays for the same reason. Ban vacations, like
because you can't take a vacation, so
you could just take a working vacation if you're in the right job. Like I talked earlier. I travelled while still doing stuff at night.
And you're traveling and doing a gig when I get there. But when I talk about vacation, I mean just a day when you wake up and you have nothing on the to-do list, and also nothing for the next like 3-4 days as well. So you don't have to sort of go to bed early that evening. Sort of. Your time is your own. You decide.
But that's like
what you feel like doing. You do.
If you do sort of like what piecework or whatever they call it, I don't know what they call it, but like if your hours are dictated by yourself, like for instance, if you're doing a 40-hour week, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and that's your thing, well, surely in some jobs it would be possible just to work the weekends or work 10 hours for a few weeks, just to sort of like get ahead of schedule so you can take the time off, but like I think that's allowed. So like you've got your job, I don't pack it down, like so that's as lenient as I'm going to get with. But
I'm saying we're already overworking right now. You're saying
work harder to earn the gaps.
You're saying we need to overwork so we can get a 2-week vacation.
Well, even recently, we recorded loads of podcast episodes to get ahead of schedule so you could go back to Romania.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
so but that's the thing. You worked a bit harder.
But like, I have a different personality. Like, and I only get to meet myself. I only get to meet that part of myself when I'm doing nothing for a week. I'm generally lazy when I'm here in London as well.
And what's this part of you that comes out when you're doing nothing?
I don't. It's There's a quiet there. There's a sort of every kind of. There's like no. It's like I'm any age sort of. I'm like both 2 and 70 and 38. I'm sort of just so. You know how God kind of lives. Apparently, time isn't like a thing for God. I remember hearing like some sort of a priest saying that at one point. God is kind of above time. And I try to think of it as from a physics point of view, but that's how I feel. I feel like sort of ageless, which is
I mean, I don't know. Like, is that something you need in your life?
No, I also don't need to wake up every day and kind of I have to do this and this and this. Why? Because if I don't do it, it's too late.
Is that the only holiday that like? Are they the holidays you like going home?
No, I don't. I went to Romania. I went to like my parents' house, and then I went to like a movie festival. I didn't just stay at my parents' houses. I go to I've only discovered vacations like in the last 5 years. I wouldn't when I was in my 20s. I didn't understand the concept of a vacation. Also because I was like doing comedy and I felt like, well, I have the days free. But now I've been doing comedy for 20 years and I quite would like the evenings free as well. That's the next good step.
So would your audiences. No.
Like I honestly sometimes don't understand I feel sometimes I go to the comedy club and you know I just kind of just sort of barely get there by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I look at everybody in the room and I feel like you guys have been to work and you're still out.
I've thought that before. People have been in my shows and I'm just like, why are you here? Just like who does this? Like who comes out to listen to an old guy just talk nonsense for? I think it just seems crazy.
But that's how shit it is to have a day job. you no matter how tired you are, you still need to cover that hole of sadness that you've been digging for yourself. You need to add some sort of a happiness to make you feel like you're alive.
It's mental.
The happiness, yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with you people?
They can't go to Disneyland because they've just been to work for 8 hours. Disneyland is too much for them.
Yeah.
They want to come and listen to a depressed guy talk about suicide. That's their.
This will make me feel a bit better about life. I'll have a giggle and then I can go to work tomorrow thinking, well, I'm not that guy. Whereas in reality, we're sat there thinking, thank God we're not any of you. It's like the idea. That would be my dream, because when you break it down into like minutes, like artists, when they're actually being paid of any kind, whether it's an actor, comic, whatever, like when you look at like what you get paid per actual minute of your real work, it's actually pretty highly paid. Like if only I could do a 40-hour week at that rate. Then I could retire.
I think lawyers do that.
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah,
we're basically like lawyers, but we can only work for 20 minutes.
We bill an hour every week at best. We get sacked from any law firm for not bringing in the business.
we're very unsuccessful, expensive lawyers.
Yeah, even the most successful ones are barely billing 2 hours a week. It's like it's quite crazy.
Yeah.
Like in terms of vacations though, I've done a lot of vacations like before I found this job.
Okay.
And maybe it's because I was in a job that was more intense and more I need a break from this.
Okay.
But like,
so you're still healing basically. You're gonna get to where I am, but in another 10 years time you're gonna understand why you also need a vacation from this.
I've had 3 types of vacations in my life. I had the first groups of vacations I did that lasted right through my 20s when I was mostly single, going on holiday with friends. And those vacations were just get drunk, try and meet girls. That was pretty much what we were all going away for.
Yeah.
And now and again, look at a temple or whatever. And then the second group of vacations were young man on holiday with a girlfriend, generally arguing. Because it was the first time you'd spent 24 hours a day with that person.
Okay.
You know, if you work a lot, that's another reason why you shouldn't retire, because sometimes you shouldn't spend too much time with that person that's in your life.
But I'm not saying I think my partner shouldn't ever retire. I do agree there. I do like it when she goes to work.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea. It's like that's the lockdown thing, isn't it? Like everyone was forced to like work and live together, and a lot of couples split up because of that. Because it's just like, it doesn't matter how much you like someone, like 24 hours is a long time with them. So a vacation, that's what my second sort of vacations were. It's just like, this person I saw for like 4 hours in the evening and like a weekend at best, like two days. Now I'm 7 days a week with her in this place, and I've realised we actually don't have anything in common, or less than we thought. And so,
wouldn't you drink on vacation? Like I always on vacation.
Yeah, just to get through it. It's like that. I mean, obviously sometimes you'd have a vacation with a new girlfriend. That was a bit more exciting, but generally not. And then the third type of vacation, now what I do is with family, kids, which is fine. And like I don't not enjoy that, but then I don't overly enjoy it because it's quite tiring.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why like the nice times is, they've all had a good time. They're all asleep now, and now I can get on my laptop and do some work and find my happy place.
You know the Louis C.K. joke of how he packs up the car, and then and then he closes the door, goes around. And that's my vacation.
Yeah. It is perfect. Yeah. But I mean, I can't imagine a vacation I'd want to do now or ever. Like what would be your sort of perfect thing you'd want to do?
I went to like a movie.
I want to give up comedy for.
I went to like a movie festival this summer, and basically I'd wake up, have a joint, I'd go I would eat like 3 or 4 or 5 meals a day. It's like on a little island in Romania, so it's only like fish. You can eat fish, takes longer to eat, and then it's also lighter, so you can eat fish like 5 times a day, and each meal be like, and then I would have like joints, and I would have like coffee and alcohol, and just a balance of joints, coffee, and alcohol.
I'm still obsessed with the idea that, like, if you were saying I had 3 or 4 or 5 beers, that just seems okay. 3 or 4 or 5 cigarettes, that seems okay. But when you had 3 or 4 or 5 meals, just however light, just sounded funny to me.
Oh yeah, but is it
because there's like a big difference between 3 meals a day and 5. That's like mental.
It's not.
You're just talking about fine dining portions, aren't you? Like where?
Oh no, but it's just like an extra fish. You can always eat like an extra fish if it's not deep fried. I'm not talking about the British deep fried fish. You can't have that. I'm saying like a grilled fish, like sort of a grilled fish from that's also fresh.
I remember this is how working class my family is. I remember my sister and my mum came down to visit us about a year or so ago, and I was cooking fried fish, like just battered fish, and whatever, chips, whatever, at the house. And I said to my sister, "Do you like fish?" She was like, "No." And then when she saw me serving it up as battered, she goes, "I like that sort of fish." And I was like, the idea that she thought like the real fish was just revolting, but that fish is a different sort of fish.
Yeah. I guess when you fry it, you can fry anything, and it's sort of it takes the taste away. It's
for sure, deep fried anything, is pretty good, I suppose. So that's your idea: film festival, joints, loads of food.
And then if I would have more time, if I would have been there for like 2 weeks, maybe I would have done like LSD one night, and then I would just kind of. That's like the more time I have, the more enjoyment I can get from like little activities. So I could just spend one day, basically in the village buffet or something, like the village bar, which is like I don't know, just go look at just go bird watching. I would go bird watching if I have like a 6 months vacation, and I could really fall in love with bird watching, but I can't do that if it's like 2 weeks and then
I'd question how much are you really into bird watching if you need a 6-month vacation in order to get into it. Like it's like 5.5 months in, you're like, oh, what can you do?
But it's definitely
bird watching.
It's definitely spectacular to go bird watching. It's just
spectacular.
I think it is.
What sort of birds?
I don't know. You learn about them. I don't know what birds but you learn their habits, and you can apparently they all have their own schedule. They go feed at 1 hour, and then they go. They all have their own sort of you just
they got their work, and then they have an hour off at lunch.
But their work is literally lunch. That's their work.
Finding lunch, yeah. That's the.
It's not that hard for them. They just kind of. I think they just kind of plunge into the ocean and get the fish. I think it's like fruit picking for us. If you're in an orchard, you can't say I'm working on eating this apple, on finding an apple.
The thing you mentioned earlier, that's the vacation I would have, but I'm afraid to have, which is like the drug vacation.
Okay.
Like, I know a few people that have been away on like trips like ayahuasca or whatever, however you say it, and that's been the thing. They've gone away for a weekend, they've done the trips. I've never done a trip amount of drugs, and I feel like I've missed out, but I'm too afraid to do that. Still to this day.
Why?
I don't know, just like stories when you were a kid in newspapers of people dying from this, that, and the other.
Yeah, but if it's in the newspaper, it's not real.
Yeah, I know that. That's the insane thing about it, is I know it's mostly nonsense and scaremongering.
Yeah. Because
it's in tabloid newspapers, but I still can't shift it. I think what you learn as a kid is really kind of like stays with you, which is a reason why you should maybe go to school when you're younger. But like.
I really love sort of because I do think I'm so positive that the education was bullshit, that I really love it when I stumble upon something that I learned as a kid that now I discover, and it's like I do it and I discover it was a bad lesson.
Such as?
Like drugs. Like don't do drugs. No, do drugs, but so
that's like
use your head while doing them.
Extra high to every time you do drugs is like, I knew it was good.
When I was a kid, no, I thought it was fucking like I like when they were telling me the stories, I kind of felt like I'm not stupid to do drugs. I'm never. I wouldn't consider. I was convinced that I'm never gonna do it. And then, well, come on, but that's just general. Let me think of other lessons.
Well, I always used to say that I'd do drugs when I was older because it seems like when there's less risk of like the death being a big thing. But then the older I get, the more afraid of dying I am. I thought you'd just get a bit easier about like that, like your time on this world. Like I thought when you're older you'd be more chill about it, and therefore do drugs after trips now.
No, I think
but like it's the opposite.
It's less and less of a pity if I die now. Like
less the pity, but I mean more of a pity for me if I die now. Other people would be less bothered.
Also, the good part of life is mostly behind us, so it's not really a pity for us either. We've lived the good part. Right now it's just let's do the podcast.
I really like the idea that you think like everything you're doing now is just kind of like just waiting for the end. Like all the good stuff's gone. That's probably why you want holidays and retirement, to try and improve what you've got left. But I feel like, I mean, isn't that like the definition of like pessimist and optimist? Is like the idea that irrespective of me having had good times, I always think the best days are ahead.
So you're an optimist and
I think so.
I'm more.
It's quite a pessimistic thought what you just had.
Yeah, it was also a joke, a bit of a joke. It wasn't necessarily like 100%. I still think
you're not joking. It's not a comedy podcast.
Yeah, we need to get a shrink in the show. Do you think having like a psychiatrist on the show?
I think I heard of someone doing a podcast like that recently. I'm sure millions have done it, but I'm sure I heard like of a comedian's podcast with a psychologist or something on it as well.
I've done it. There's a guy from Liverpool, the Hurt Locker.
Is that it? Yeah.
Maybe it's that one. Maybe it's a different one.
I think it is another one, but that's exactly what I just said. I bet there's a few. It seems like an obvious thing because of the old sort of hack kind of thing that most new comics will say is like comedy's like therapy, which is obviously talking about yourself in any context is therapy, but it's just no new realization on stage, but it goes without saying that people would think of that as a podcast idea.
I like gardening, but I think it's like I don't have enough.
It is like I'm interviewing an insane person. Sometimes I'm just like, tell me more.
It's not like it's sort of it's too boring of an even like doing puzzles. I'd like to like a 10,000 piece puzzle. I think that's a thing I'd so much be into doing if I had more than like 10 days off at Christmas.
See,
if I had like 6 months off, I could do like 2 puzzles and just have the best like 3 weeks of my life doing those puzzles and then planting a tree.
I think if you're into puzzles, you should be dead. Like, just my mother, like I still can't get my head around this. She loves word searches. Like it's like where you got a grid of letters and you have to find the words in the grid. Yeah. Like she loves
crossword puzzles.
Not crosswords. That's where you get like clues and you've got to answer the things to put the words in. This is like literally there's just all letters and you've got to find the words and then put a ring around it. Word searches. It's like there's no skill really. It literally is just waiting to die. Like it's just like I just don't get it. Like
you're not waiting to die. You're waiting for lunch.
It's just on the way to death. It's like waiting for lunch, waiting for this, waiting for that. It's like have you got nothing else to fill your time with?
You're working hard.
Word searches.
You're working hard on your way to death.
I remember they were exciting when I was 6. Like the idea that you could find a word in a jumble, and you'd be like, "Oh, found another one." But like the idea that a woman in retirement, like, is that's what you're spending your last moments doing.
Okay.
Imagine dying at a word search puzzle book. It's just... Is that just insane to you? Or is it the opposite of that? Is it like the most... I've had a nice life?
Yeah, I think that's the most
healthy
thing you can do.
Word searches until my heart gives out.
This makes me happy. I don't care. I'm just gonna do this until lunch and then death.
Yeah.
But
that's gotta be a great show title. That is like word searches until death. It's just like this the idea that you've achieved happiness because you just gotta wait it out.
Totally into that.
Maybe that's what retirement is.
The only reason I'm not doing word searches is because the rents keep going up because people like you keep working on vacation.
Well, you're assuming that I'm working on vacation to some sort of monetary gain.
On the long run, I'm sure it's gonna pay off for you, and it's gonna make me move out of the neighborhood. I'm gonna get priced out of the neighborhood. I'm gonna get worked out of the neighborhood.
I just don't like. Apart from the drugs thing, though, I don't think I could ever prevent that from happening. Like as in like. I'm always going to want to work.
There's so many like ping pong and my parents have like a ping pong table.
You don't need a vacation to play ping pong. You can do that. It's not like you work 24 hours a day.
No, I never work. I always have work to do, but I never work. So I can't.
Why do you need to retire or take holidays from that? It sounds like you're taking the holiday daily.
I am taking a holiday day. The difference in my life. You need
a holiday from the holidays.
But the difference in my life is when I'm on a holiday,
you don't think about the work you're not doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. But there's always stuff I could do.
Then? Isn't that just a mindset?
I have ideas. I have scripts in my head. I have like so many.
Yeah, but surely just.
I have an idea. Just
tomorrow wake up and just convince yourself not to worry about it. It won't change anything, and then you can treat that like a holiday.
You can't do that too much because you notice other people working around you, and guilt gets to you eventually. And it's just like Christmas and August when I really get to relax. Other than that, I'm doing nothing, but I'm stressed out. And
So I think there's a utopia that could be reached
Okay.
if nobody could retire and nobody could have holidays, then everybody's going to want to do a job they like, which I initially thought, oh, that's a problem. Everyone's going to want to do comedy and different artistic pursuits. Bit like when everyone went through the pandemic, a lot of people decided to give up shit jobs and do things they love and, you know, set up their own bakery from home and, you know, all these businesses.
Yeah.
And so everyone was into that. But then maybe there's a space for that, especially with the invention of sort of robotics and AI. Because, you know, the talk is that in 10, 15 years, like most, like quite menial jobs will probably be done by robots. Like that's going to ramp up. And so like elderly care, like trash collection, all those jobs that are like dirty and horrible will be done by that. And so maybe all the jobs that are available will be things you want to do.
Okay. But there's no...
And you need to have enough money to pay for the robots.
But why? That's why. Why does it have to be a job? Why can't it just be? I'm gonna go play darts because I want to play darts. Why does it have to be like a career? And no. If you want to play darts, you have to do it 12 hours a day. Other than if you're not playing darts 12 hours a day, then you're a failure because there's other people playing darts 12 hours a day and they're better than you.
Yeah, human nature is to want to be good at something. Right?
I think it's part of human nature, but that's not all humanity is. It's part. I'm competitive too once in a while, but also I like napping. Why can't we focus on that?
I'd like to think that most people...
Human nature is to nap 8 hours a day. Why can't we just lean more on that?
6, I would say, but
5.5 on Wednesday.
6 hours sleep's enough.
Okay.
The point is, like, if lots of people got into, let's just say lots of people got into stand-up comedy, I'd like to think that most people would want to be the best because that's what drives it being good. If everyone just got into it and just thought, just do it because I like doing it, but there's no reason to strive to be better. Why would you be into sport unless people are striving to be the best at it?
I know what a fantastic hour, a fantastic like 10 minutes set is. I know sort of going on stage and getting like a laugh out of like every other word. I know what that feels like, and that's fantastic. And I feel like, okay, I've done comedy. Why do I?
Someone told you that, did they?
I've seen other comedians do it. But why do after that amazing set do I have to feel sad that I'm not Dave Chappelle? Why can't I just take the amazing set with me and just go home and enjoy the rest of my life? Why do I have to now email other people and come on, I want to be as close to Dave Chappelle as possible?
I'm not saying you should email people with your time. I'm just saying that, like, if you decide to get into something you love rather than something just to pay the bills, then you should want to be great at it. And that doesn't necessarily mean like emailing people all the time for whatever.
I think you can't be great at anything these days without having to use email. I think it's mandatory.
I mean,
greatness includes
you say that, but
a Gmail account.
There's quite a lot of comedians, not hundreds yet, but there's quite a lot of comedians that have gotten quite far without doing the circuit in the same way that we would have done. And there's quite a lot of different people in all artistic pursuits that have gotten quite good by not doing it in a traditional way.
Oh, I'm not saying email necessarily the booker, but you still have to email the theater, or you have to email the I don't know, the tax person.
I think the future of the arts is AI,
accountant.
man. I think you're going to be just emailing nobody. I think you're just going to be going, create a version of me that says these words in this place and make the movie or make the stand-up hour. And I don't think there's going to be any physical club or booker required at some stage.
I don't know what
you can make the best clips.
I think I think you're living in a bigger utopia than I am with this AI.
I think we're moments from it. It's also a great thing for retirement because, like, the minute AI gets good enough to sort of replicate us doing our stuff, like, we can write a line, a new joke, a new routine, and we can get AI to recreate us saying it, but then we'll be ageless. So it's like a lot of actors are selling their image rights and stuff. A lot of musicians are selling their back catalogues and their voices because they know AI is going to like pretty much take over. So they might as well make the money now before their image is worthless.
Okay.
Or their sound is worthless. So like I think that will get to comedy eventually, where like the idea is you've got to like there will be no job, I suppose, unless you get creative with it. You become the reason that you're.
Well, if that's the future, I'm all in for AI. If AI gets rid of, brings in more.
No, but you'd have to spend
time.
all your time creating the AI stuff and writing for the AI or writing with the AI.
Yeah,
I think it could end up being more work rather than less.
Do you not think that comedians in the 80s worked less than comedians now?
Oh, I don't know.
Like even the gag rate, if you look at most sets from like Johnny Carson, the gag rate is sort of, I don't know, like a third of what it is today. Not for the diversity acts, for just generally good acts.
You're probably right. I don't know if that means they work less.
Well, I'm saying even at writing they worked less, and then at everything else I think they worked less because there was no internet, there was no you need to post on like 7 platforms. You'd kind of
but they're having to like it takes a long time to write letters and post out DVDs or VHSs.
I think
or
just the world sort of moved slower, and everybody was fine
print off all
with
your
that.
headshots and post them to like I've seen documentaries from the past of like how you used to have to try and get your name out to clubs and stuff back in the day.
Yeah,
like that was quite hard.
But even like printing out headshots, you'd still take a bus to the printing place, and the time on the bus, that was your time. That was sort of your time to look out the window.
But a lot of these people in like the 80s, they were like busting their hump, like working the doors at comedy clubs and stuff to like make the money to pay for the headshots and stuff because comedy didn't really pay.
Oh, that's happening right now as well. That's happening more now. I don't know if.
And
more
I say
or less,
long may it continue. That people continue like work hard. It's.
Yeah, no, I think work is basically what's ruining.
Which one of you?
humanity.
Which one of us do you think will end up winning this conversation? Like in the grand scheme of things, do you think we're headed for a world without vacations and retirement, or do you think we're headed for a world with more of them?
I think we're heading towards the Hunger Games. If global warming doesn't get us, the Hunger Games. Well, I think that's basically what's going to happen.
I think that'd be cool because in the Hunger Games.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie, by the way.
But in the
don't go too deep on the references.
If you could define this podcast in a sentence, that'll be it. I think it'll be like the Hunger Games, which I haven't seen.
But if you just look at the trailer, just look at like I've seen the first 5 minutes of the Hunger Games, so it's the Hunger Games in the first 5 minutes. one of the 3, I don't remember which one.
It's like I really want to enjoy it. I like going to film festivals now, but I just watch the trailers. And then I do the drugs.
You still get like an idea, and then you get to.
Yeah, I got the gist of it.
But you let the idea fester within yourself. Don't let sort of now you get educated by the filmmaker on the idea. No, I'm happy with the idea.
It's like bravo, less. How's about a sit down ovation? I think that's enough, mate.